G'day. Welcome. I am back. I have been off for a little bit. I was on a little bit of holiday. I was having a nice time off to myself, relaxing. I have a wrong logo up, huh? I didn't even set a logo. Whoops. Anyway, we have a Division B East game this time for Nexus Gaming Series. We have Team Name facing off against Red Dragons. Which, I do know people in both these teams. Both these teams have people I'm quite comfortable with. Majesty is... Majesty, I've done a few things with NGS, Beat Holiday, Pandemonium, Muscatoria are all on a team I played against last season. Red Dragons, well, I guess Beat Holiday is newer to it, but I've pretty good with her. But we are going to be getting into the game soon, so I'm going to quickly talk about what we had banned out, because team name, coin toss, they was over home team, they chose Tails, they won the coin toss, they chose map pick, which I should really do this. We can see they banned out Tales of Doom and Tomb of Spider Queen, hating those T-based maps, and Red Dragons banned out Infernal Shrines and Cursed Hollow. That leads us to Garnetera, which can hear we are getting into, so let me swap it on over, and we'll see how this goes, shall we? I'm also going to state it here that with me taking a little bit of a break from streaming, I'm not going to be going for my original goal of getting 125 casts a season. I've taken too much time off to comfortably do it without burning out. TLV banned out immediately, by the way. I think it's because B-Meteor does it a lot. I don't know. I feel like that's a problem. Yes, there is a team just called Team Name that is Division B East. So we do also see Joanna banned out. Just good all-round ban. Doesn't necessarily indicate what necessarily is going to happen. And it looks like someone has messaged me something. Alright. Sorry. Thank you. Someone's just messaged me something that I needed to check out, but no, we are here. Now, we can see Gul'dan's banned out. Ghoulish Daniel, as his full name is known, will not be participating in this map, which is unfortunate. It's not often you get to see Gul'dan, and he's definitely a fun one to see. Junkrat then rounding out the bans, and that is I think Pandemonium plays them a fair amount, so that is a pretty good ban. And this is Division B East. I reckon I can add that to the title. That gets very busy if I add that to the title. Yeah, that gets very busy. I may not do that. This is good enough for the current point in time. There will be a point in time where I'm running the opening reel that I'm going to need to fill up my water bottle, as I should probably drink enough to make sure I'm not going to ruin my voice before I return to work tomorrow, because unfortunately I do eventually have to return to work. I can't just be on holiday forever. We can see Anduin, both healers actually picked up very early. Anduin Brightwing picked up off the bat. We can see Vala, Double Life, picking up that before the next ban phase, which good timing on it, because that is another kind of priority ban. But Garden of Terror, do we see Hogger picked up here? Hogger and Tank is my guess, in all honesty. I don't know what the tank would be, but I definitely think Hogger would be a good priority right now. Diablo and Tychus picked up. I do like the Tychus. It does make it harder for things such as Hogger to really function. And it makes it harder for your Stitches, your... Okay, not expecting a Genji to be picked, but we do see a Genji ban, however. Also, welcome everyone. Koala, Voriel, Nor. Hope you're all doing well today. I know it's been a little bit. But we're just looking at the last ban of the phase. Now, Red Dragons, what are you thinking? Tank is still needed. Offlane is still needed. No, honestly, you may go, what offlane do we not want to see? If you can get rid of, like, Leoric or Malthael or something. Especially because you already banned TLV. What else do they play? But Garrosh is banned out, which, fair enough, if Diablo wants to go in, they do not want to be flipped for their efforts. Right, we're at the third and fourth pick here. So the question is, what shall it be? Also, I have no clue, like, what phase this is. I have no clue what I say. Right, Genji, that's right, yeah. But we will be seeing things come through shortly. Kalephis, interesting mage, and Stitches. Kind of one of the tanks I mentioned before, which, if you get a pick, it makes it much easier. But if you're trying to go in now, into things such as Tychus with the Stitches if you're not getting that hook in the initial fight. It makes it a lot harder for you to get through things, because a lot of tanks can just kind of stun out Tychus a little bit, make sure they can't do anything. Stitches is not one of those. What are we going to see now? Kira, interesting, and Ragnaros rounding things out. Probably not the hero I expected to see. Kira, Livskutoria, I've seen him play a few things at this point, I suppose. But it's definitely one of the weirder ones that we just see Ragnaros rounding things out. I have gone on record to say many times I'm not a big fan of Ragnaros in the offlane. I do understand they can be a good offlaner. I just prefer to play other things. I'm again very surprised we're not seeing things such as Vahogger. Speaking of which, what's the offlane going to be here? It is a Samuro, which all of a sudden the Ragnaros looks a lot better. The Kira looks a lot better. Both of these can do pretty well into Samuro, but so can Hogger. Right. I do like looking at the chat, seeing like people going, the enemies for next week. Hello. But yeah, that should be a good match to watch. B West is sitting in my chat going, what's going to happen here? And it's just two of them ready to go at it. So we're going to count down. I'm going to run the opening sequence. I'm also going to fill up my water bottle in hopefully 30 seconds. I'll be back with you hopefully in the game. I'm fast enough. The computer wasn't quite as fast as I am, but it is going to catch up just about now, so we are in the game and ready to go. So, on the side of T-Name, we have Duff McWhalen on the Kalefist Majesty Brightwing. Leo Rice is on the Stitches. B Mido is on the Samuro, which I do love a good Samuro. And Double Life on the... Okay, on the Vala. On the other side, however, we do have Pandemonium on the Tychus, Livskutoria, Kira, Butte Holiday on the Diablo, which I'm still always weirded out by not seeing her on healer, because I do consider her a very, very good healer. Anyway, Dizzy is on the Anduin, and Jacobia rounding things out on the Ragnaros. So we are going to have people run each other middle as per. It's the time-honored tradition. In terms of stacking, we do see Vala has gone auto-attack. We do see that it is Globe, so Mana Addict Tychus. Oh, not Tychus, Kalefist. We can see Kira has been standing still for a very long time. Does escape, unfortunately does have bomb spread to Pandemonium. Pandemonium also backs up. Interesting, we have Q build Ragnaros. Hand of Sulphurous picked up at level 1, I think it's called. No, Sulphurous Hungers, I should say. Not often we see it, but it should be a fun one to see. Butte Holiday gets hooked in, does back out. There's the tether on to Duff McWhalen. Livskutoria has bomb on them. And that is a lot of spreading, and that is a lot of damage, but Butte Holiday is the first one to go down there. It is unfortunate. Grenade finds Leo Rice. And the last thing to note is Kira is stacking her trait. So we're going to get some bleeds going out. We're going to get the extended timer, so that goes from 4 to 6 seconds once it's completed. Also, Duff McWhalen is getting run at by the Kira down bottom. Meanwhile, top we see Jacobia and Bimido will be facing off shortly. Nope. Nope, they found each other. Slap. I do actually like the pick up Q build. It can do very well with the resets into Samuro. That makes it very good in the later game. Also, meanwhile, we see Pandemonium, Duff McWhalen fighting now. Kira has gone to do the camp, which it may almost be Tychus is better. Hard to say. Also looking at other things. Samuro's going to be kind of your old classic Windwalk board build. We do see people picking up the camp. Duff McWhalen, Double Life all doing on it. And all while what Double Life is doing, they're going to be a little bit slower on the stacking. But as they're already at 25 stacks out of the... 50 per segment? They're doing pretty well. They're on a pretty good pace so far to get that kind of rolling, so to speak. Jacobia, how many stacks? We'll get 4 out of a 25. So that comes in very handy when you get later down the line, where you get extra healing off it, where you can get cooldown reduction off of it. Pandemonium's doing his best to spread bombs, but doesn't quite this time. Dizzy, nice route onto Duff McWhalen. We can see Butte Holiday has come down now. Oh, gets stopped just as they start to charge. That's unfortunate for that tank player right there. But very good by Majesty getting that polymorph off. And sorry, If you do hear me drink, I have, again, just a very dry throat. I've gone from somewhere very moist? Humid. I've gone from a place very humid to a place very dry. Nice pawn to beat Holiday. The spell shield. Nope, the soul shield doesn't quite keep him alive. They go down. It's unfortunate just before the objective. All while Double Life was doing that camp, and now we can see they are going to be starting doing the Shamblers. Level 5 through above 10 is going to briefly pull this up as we do see Master Assassin Tychus, and we can see Piercing Light on the end when picked up as his main questing talents. Jacobia gets pushed in. No one's going to be able to stop the turn, and Kira, nice swing, good cancel into the tether and the grapple hook, meaning she can get out. And that will be that objective grabbed by Team Name. Good start for them. We do have this interesting free man rotating around. Oh, Majesty, you do not want to be there too long. Watch out for the stun. There it is. Good dodge. Frost grenade. But they do get hit with a living bomb for the efforts. Which actually, they are grenade builds, so that will start hurting around level 7. We do see more of those grenade talents coming through. Walks straight into Duff McWhalen. Does get hit with a stun. No follow-up flame strike there, so Pandemonium will be fine. Meanwhile, top we can see Butte Holiday taking over for Lifscutoria on the camp. You can see now Jacobia coming down, helping clear it up. And a quick reset for Lifscutoria. And we can see Tychus actually goes down bottom. There's a free man rotation. Double Life does help finish things off. And that's because I was watching Lifscutoria getting too low top. They didn't even see what was happening bottom. Right, they do need a little bit quick on this. Butte Holiday's not wanting to start it, so we are just going to have to see a little bit of patience now from Red Dragons. They don't want to fully commit to this. They don't want to give the seed for free, so to speak. Thank you for following Charlotte Magnet. We do see Lifscutoria going in. Nice little spin around there. All the way around. We can see Facial coming out. Lifscutoria now. Awkward spot. Beamuto does give a wailing on them, and that is a polymorph on from the Brightwing, meaning Kira's not able to, unfortunately, do much during that time. And that is a very good reason to pick for Brightwing. Polymorph is such a good thing to stop melee assassins. Brightwing is one of those few heroes where if I see the enemy team, I'm not going to be taking my melee assassins. Maybe Samurai if I think I'm good enough to trick them, but I'm not good enough to trick most people in saying that. I just run at buildings and pray when I'm playing Samurai, or even most of the offlanes. I'm like, this building looks great, and then someone appears and I'm screwed. Not my brightest moments playing offlaners, but it's definitely some of the most fun ones. Camps being picked up again. Double Life immediately on their siege camp. We can see that Kira has started their own. Pandemonium coming in to help. Otherwise, we can see Ragnaros is top. Majesty with them. I imagine we're going to see Lava Wave at this point. I would like to see Sulfura Smash, but I don't think so. Oh, cool. No. Let me just get rid of that message real quick. And we do now see the team backing up. They're not in position to really fight as a thing. They want to make sure the objective can't be found, but they're wanting to make sure that they are in a good enough position to, if they can't fight 10s, they're down a couple of levels, they need to play safe, and they need to just eat this objective, which is unfortunate, but it will be what's occurring. Which I'm going to open up the 10s real quick so we can see the talented having Beamuto does get a little bit of blading action on them. Butte Holiday unable to grab. Unfortunately, didn't have flip available. We can see now objective coming through. So we have Blink Heal, Brightwing. We have a Pyroblast from the Kalfus, which, where is Kalfus? Down here. Oh. I didn't even need to say anything there. That was just a lot of damage. That's just a very dead Tychus. But as I say, we do also have Gorge. Bladestorm on the Samurai, and we're rounding things out with the Reign of Vengeance Vala. Now we see Red Dragons are actually having to back up quite a bit. Speaking of backing up, Lifscutoria is about to be in a lot of trouble. We can see Leo Rice and the rest of the 4-man coming through. And Lifscutoria realizes that's not the best place for them to be. There's our Lava Wave. We have Commandeer Odin from the Tychus. We also have Unrelenting Strikes, Kira, Light Bomb Anduin, and I imagine we may see APOC, but more often not when we see the Flame Stomp build, it is Lightning Breath on the Diablo. That is just yet to come through. And also very good defense by the side of Red Dragons. They were down 10s a lot of that time, but they only lost one fort during it. Like, yeah, sure, they lost a bunch of towers in the gate, but they only lost one fort, which all in all, that's good. That's good you only lost that much, considering you had to eat that 2 levels down. But we do see Diablo has gone Apocalypse. Very aggressive rotation. It looks like they're wanting to evade, but will they be there in time? Yes, they will. Bimbedo does go into that little stealth form, and we can see the team effectively steals. That is not the person you want to tether onto. We do see it, the hook doesn't quite find its target, and that is very fortunate because Gorge was up, and that could have been a very dead, well, basically anyone. Anduin was close enough to pull, so there is a potential chance they could have lived, but no, they did not quite find the hook. We do see Samurai being annoying, as Samurai things do. That is just how Samurai functions. That's how I function when I play Samurai. Just be annoying and hope that works out. But you can see now, there has been a little bit of catch up by Red Dragons. They are getting closer to getting the talent, equal talents. There were 2 talents down before. They are only 1 now. But they're realizing this is not the place for them to be, especially down 13s. They're just going to have to give that camp up. It is unfortunate, but it is going to be the case. Oh, very aggressive positioning here by the... Ooh, hopefully he's going to get hooked. I was going to say, very aggressive positioning by the Vala. If the rest of the team were a little bit more around there, Vala would have definitely been in trouble, but no, they were safe enough. Leo Rice did have friendly hook up at that point, I think, but they just went for aggressive one. Speaking of aggressive one, they're falling just short of Dizzy. Dizzy giving a wide enough berth where they don't have to worry about that. Meanwhile, we can see a general rotation coming down. And 13's again, still not quite available. Duff McWhalen is the one getting targeted now. Samuro is alone on point, but we see Liz Kutoria. Nice light bomb. Actually, we see the Brightwing going down first. That little Fairy Dragon goes splat. Double life is the next one on the chopping block. Leo Rice does gorge. Pandemonium with a lot of damage coming in a very few moments. Does eat it. See, Leo Rice is the one in trouble, does get flipped. We do see him get stunned, and that's Pandemonium wailing on them with the minigun. Unfortunately, there is no boss of this map for the side of Red Dragons to grab, but that is the fight they needed. The talents, well, the levels are basically even, a little bit of an advantage over to Red Dragons, as I can look if I do this, but this one, see, it's like, actually, it's pretty even. We can see it is essentially even now. The whole level's gone. It is caught up. And that is exactly what Red Dragons need to get back in this. They had a little bit of a rough early game, but now we're into this mid game. It is looking pretty even, and Ragnaros Lava Wave will help make that very difficult for Team Name to keep a consistent lead. Nice grenade finding Double Life. Double Life, keep in mind, has not died yet, I believe. No, they have not, and that's the way they need to keep it, to keep their auto attack speed up. They are only at 64 stacks, so they're not quite that as far along as I like. We can see the Gorge come up. We need to see the building finished off now. There it is. Dizzy has pull up, I imagine. Doesn't need it because Lift Scutoria does a nice swing. Bermudo coming in from behind with it. Oh, that's a nice light bomb. That is a good couple of kills there. Oh, nope, there's the second one. We see Samurai coming in behind. And once again, we see the light bomb with the unrelenting strikes on Kira, actually causing a lot of damage. There's the charge. We know that he doesn't have Gorge up, so you can do this. Leo Rice is getting body blocked all to hell, and that's them going down. Butte Holiday does pop the Soul Shield. Double Life was wailing of them throughout the time. They don't have, however, the magical yet, so they are a bit rough. We can see the Lava Wave coming down mid. Meanwhile, up top, Jacobia is in a little bit of trouble, but they are that Q build, so they're not in the most danger. They can live a little bit more than Bimido would like. You can see Q would be up again in a few moments. Yep, there it is. Reset. And Bimbudo trying their best to kill Jacobia, just couldn't do it. Well, not without risking their own life anyway. Oh, very aggressive charge. Does get flipped from Duff McWhalen. We can see he's taking a lot of damage for it. Butte Holiday in trouble. Pull coming out. Burrow Blast was used, but Butte Holiday to go down. Fortunately for Red Dragons, their tank did have Soul Stone fully completed, so they were able to get it. Majesty now is going to be grabbing the objective with Bimbudo, and we'll give it pretty safely. Oh, grenade a little bit late from Pandemonium. But that's alright, because if he stayed around too much longer, Leo Rice was going to be there with Hook and Gorge. Speaking of Hook and Gorge, Jacobia just out of range of it as well. Very fortunate for them, they're playing quite safe. Now we can see bottom camp being taken, top left camp being... Bottom camp? What am I on about? The right siege camp being taken, right middle siege camp being taken. We can also see Leo Rice Double Life doing their fang on their siege camp. Lifscutoria trying to get a little bit cheeky, see what damage they can do, but nothing to unfair. Hook coming out, finds Lifscutoria in an awkward spot, but they do manage to get out. Polymorph does cancel their grapple, but they're already safe at that point. Or it looks like something weird happened there, but it doesn't matter, as we are relatively even, so to speak. And for the first time, Red Dragons is properly ahead. Albeit it is only half a level, not a full level like... I'm going to close that. Like Team Name has. It is still decent. Right, teams are coming down now. The Holiday holding very aggressive, making sure Leo Rice doesn't get quite what they want. Nice stun. Receiver flip. Hopefully there is Dizzy coming around. Yep. Tim doesn't quite find a field. We do see the unstop. We do see the Commandant Odin armor coming out. 25 is a decent amount. Liscutoria unreleased strikes the backline. Does stop the Brightwing from phase shifting. See there's a lot of damage coming out. Pull coming out. Bermudo trying the best in the backline. The Holiday very low will be first casualty of this fight. And unfortunately, while Pandemonium is in the Commandeer Odin, they don't have that minigun ability available to them. Liscutoria does get hit by the Pyroblast, however, they're mid-swing, so it doesn't matter. Jacoby are trying to get out, can't quite in time. They try and take out double life in the process. They do! That is actually a stack of a Gambit gone on the Vala. That will be siege, sure, but you managed to get rid of a lot of the damage of Team Name. But you've now got a lot of plant terrors you have to deal with. You very much have to go bottom, then mid, then top. Because bottom will be pressing in quite soon. We're going to see it is still a few seconds before everyone comes up. Kira is halving. I imagine they're going to just run it at bottom, which does have 3 people on it. This is going to be the danger lane coming in very shortly. You got to watch out for Hook. Hook hits the building, unfortunately for Leo Rice. Liscutoria is now getting emboldened as their team is slowly returning. Doesn't quite hit the Tether, but does hit the E. Does kick them back in. Duff McWhalen now in trouble. Nice polymorph by Brightwing. Duff McWhalen getting hit by every stun under the sun. You can see Vera's the Gorge. Majesty getting a phase shift. However, Leo Rice has put themselves in an awkward spot. Butte Holiday and Liscutoria having a little bit of a hug, spreading that bomb. But now we can see rotations are going to have to come up and around. I imagine we're going to see the Molten Core. There it is. Oh, Hook coming out, Pandemonium. Nice pull by Dizzy. They do have the bomb on them. Does spread it to the massive tower that is the Molten Core. But ultimately is going to be fine. And considering how rough a start it was for that objective phase, Red Dragons lost, what, 3 buildings here? It could have been more. It could have very well been more. But fortunately, Ragnaros has been depressuring the lanes with their Lava Wave quite a bit. And that's becoming more and more important as we speak. Keep in mind, Red Dragons still to get a Plant Terror phase this game. They got 1 of the seeds, but they have not gone too much more. You can see they are starting a camp. Pandemonium trying to kill that camp by themselves. Meanwhile, Samuro considering what they can do for themselves. It looks like they're looking to steal camp or do a little bit of proxying, stopping that wave from getting too far. I need to sneeze, so bear with me. That was a lot of sneezing. Sorry. I'm going to have to keep seizing. Nice APOC combo. That is a strength of Hellgate. I do not know why more people don't choose it. And we can see the Gorge coming out right as Butte Holiday. No, it's right as Butte Holiday. We see the Gorge coming out Butte Holiday right as Leo Rice goes down. That is very unfortunate for the Stitches, but that means now we can see aggressive play here from the side of Red Dragons. But Team Name has a Samuro who is going to be a nuisance in of themselves. And that is perfect for what Samuro wants to do. But yeah, you need knock over this top building while you're here now. If you're Red Dragons, you need to basically even things up as much as possible. The seed you probably want to grab as well. I do know it's not vital, but it can very much help.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Good stuff. Destroy that fort. I think you would have time to grab this middle one, but it looks like they're just playing it safe and wanting to focus on the seed itself. Meanwhile, Samuro and Ragnaros having to do a little bit of a dance, so to speak. Ragnaros is getting closer to getting their Lava Wave back up. 30 seconds off. It will help them deal with Samuro a fair amount, but Samuro can technically keep up, even with that pressure that Lava Wave can provide. But I guess a lot of it is knowing when you're meant to Lava Wave. The 15-second mark and... the 16-second mark and 46-second mark, both very good. Nice body blocking by B-Meter. And we can see Majesty and them take down the Ragnaros. That is a unfortunate casualty, so to speak. I really need to say stop saying so to speak. I do say it a lot. Oh, Butte Holiday has been hooked. No Gorge just yet. Nice pull. And Bermudo does dodge the piercing light. Knows root by the end. And speaking of which, we haven't actually looked at the 20s because we do have full E build on the Samuro, which fair enough. Pandemoniums are standing a little bit too aggressively this time. Liscutoria trying to see if they can get around. Dizzy does have double pull. So dodge can coming out. They do have their way out does tether onto a minion. Oh, APOC, not quite finding anything. We just see it dashing out now. Stunning for Brightwing, but we'll keep running away. Meanwhile, we can see Pandemonium has dropped the Commandeer Odin. Nice flip onto Beam Meadow, but nothing will be found from that. Ragnaros will be up soon. They will have a Lava Wave available to them. But that is a good hold on. Considering Pandemonium was looking to be in a lot of trouble there, they managed to survive, and they are going to live. Meanwhile, Samura's doing Samura things. This is why I do half expect Samura to be banned a lot of the time. I do understand if there is a... Samura is not one of those, like, often run heroes. But if someone knows how to play them, God, they are annoying. Ragnaros is a good one to deal with it, sure, but it's not easy. Nice idea looking at that camp. And oh, right as they check it, the side of Red Dragon started. That's a little bit unfortunate timing for the side of Team Name. Do we get a Lava Wave top?
It will sprout before you
Lava Wave in 3, 2, 1. A little bit too early. It's a little bit too early. I will demonstrate why it is too early in a few moments. Also, Samurai did just use Blade Storm bottom to deal with that. And now we're getting set up at the objective. Also going to look here. So we see the Lava Wave coming in now. And there's the Minion Wave. Like, just slightly too early is why I say that. It's very unfortunate.
collect the seed and don't fret.
Leo Rice looking for a hook. Does find Butte Holiday. Not quite the person you want to find. As we can see now, Val is stuck in the middle of things. Does get face shift and wins. You actually see it is multi-gorge. Hungry Stitches, not often picked. But can be a hell of a ride. And this time it was not quite in their favor. Lutoria does get the stun onto Leo Rice, but does go down first. It's not very unfortunate. Jacoby pulled in. Does get 1 Q, but will go down as well. See Pandemonium Dizzy backing up. Butte Holiday doing their best in the middle of things. Taking a lot of damage. Will go down. And that is a free man kill, albeit Soulstone was available for Diablo. So they will be back, but we are going to get a hook coming out, but nothing found that time. I would like to see more aggression here from Team Name. I would have liked to see them get aggressive into the building itself, if they met, because this would be the perfect time for them to take something. You have Kira down, you have Ragnaros down. This is the time you can finally get that pressure onto buildings. You don't have a Lava Wave constantly stifling you. But looks like they are looking for a hook once again. They're looking for some sort of play. Both teams are in the seed phase now, 2-3, 2-3. Red Dragons are at a point where they can't give this. Red Dragons do need to fight this, and they need to make sure that the seed isn't their end. But we can see a very aggressive positioning now. Butte Holiday does get hooked very early on. There's a polymorph. There's a lot of damage. You see Dizzy is the target. That rascal is going to be in trouble, but we do see Butte Holiday now in trouble herself. No, we do see the Light Bomb keeping Lutoria alive a little bit longer, but no, there's just a little bit too much damage for both Kira and Diablo to live through. Nice APOC. They do get a shove onto Leo Rice to extend their life. Leo Rice extending it even further. Nice route by Anduin. Does try to pull people out, but no, that is just Anduin left. That looks like it will be the end game as Pyroblast comes out, but doesn't quite find its target in time before they go down. GG is called by Butte. GG is called by Lift. And we can see that very gracious in defeat Red Dragons are, as the side of Team Name are going to be routing things out for this first map of series. Garden of Terror, their map pick, will be going up, funnily enough, over to Vin. Well played, both teams. Excellent stuff. So I guess the question is what we see next. But before that, we have a game summary screen to look at. So let me jump on over to that. Shall I? Right. Hold this ready for the next one. And I need to make sure I tick Team Name 1 that first map. Right. In terms of stats, very close between Brightwing and Anduin. 9k difference between two. 90k Brightwing, 81k Anduin. I will know Anduin did at least finish their Piercing Light, so they did get the quest complete at level 4. That Vala, excellent amount of damage, 62k, almost 63k, compared to Tychus' 45. Tychus looking a little bit low in that damage dealing there. Ragnaros just behind them. Ragnaros, however, 250k siege compared to 136 of Samuro. But Samuro actually kept very close in terms of that soak. Very good experience game by both of those heroes. But no, well played there. In terms of talents, let's have a look at that. I don't know how far Vala got through their quest, I'll be honest. I didn't really look at that. I do know Andal completed theirs. I believe Kira completed theirs. That's one of the easier ones to complete, if I recall. Interesting things to note. We did see Hungry Stitches picked up at the level 20. Not often you see it. You do often see Master Hooker. Master Hooker gets a lot of value, especially because it just lowers your cooldown if you're hooked by 6 seconds. You don't have to hit. You can miss, and that's still a lower cooldown. You can throw out more hooks, more potential picks, and the easier time it is for your team. I don't know exactly how well the Hungry Stitches would have done, had done in those fights. Yeah, they got multiple gorges off, but that's ultimately people not taking damage during that time. So it's hard to say. Interesting to not see Booming Kick as something else. We saw Lingering Ailment, so minus armor instead, which I don't hate it. When it comes to things such as Stitches, getting through those, it's quite good. But when you have Samurai around, honestly, I do wonder if Booming Kick would have been better for the AoE stun itself. Otherwise, I did like everything else. I do like Ragnar's Q build. It's not something you see often, but it's something that I definitely enjoy seeing. And that, so people who don't know Samurai, this is relatively standard as Samurai build. So let me throw it onto the map view screen and we can see what we're going next, shall we? We don't actually have a next map yet. I threw it over there going, yeah, let's see what's happening. Nothing. Do I even have anyone on my friends list in this game that I can just watch? Nope, I just have to pray they eventually invite me. Who just played that game? I then look at my screen and realize everyone's still on there. Let me open up a Whisper View so I can see what's happening. And a Whisper View so I can see what's happening. That's probably a smart idea, isn't it? So, as we're getting into these upper divisions, I expect more and more we see the team playing... I expect the teams... How am I going to phrase this? The later we get into this game, the more and more I expect the team that has first pick or map pick to choose map pick. It's definitely a trend I've noticed. There's like an inverse relationship between the amount you're hero picking versus the division you're in. So like Division E, we see a lot of first pick. Because a lot of people at that point is like, right, we're going to get our comfort heroes, we are going to go ham, do excellent. And that does work. But when we get to this point, Division B is where it really starts taking over. A little bit of Division C, but mainly Division B. We get a lot of, we're going to pick our maps, because we're far more comfortable with that. Speaking of comfortable maps, we have one interesting one. Praxis Holdouts. Not one I see often. I'll find out who had first pick in a few moments. This is me, Red Dragons. Never mind, it was removed. I was like, I'm in the team, yes. But I'll just say that I'm ready whenever. But it does look indeed like it was map pick for Red Dragons. Which, yeah, fair enough. It is... Honestly, I know it's not a popular opinion, but this is one of my favorite maps to play. But I do also really like playing offlaner, so I am biased towards maps such as this one. Where I'm like, yeah, I could just have fun, mess around and find out. Because if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of swearing, especially on streams. I also like shit every now and again, but like anything worse than that is a no-fly zone for me, especially because I know it's a slippery slope for me saying other words. And considering some of like New Zealand's vocabulary we like to go to, it's often not a great idea to say some of those words, especially in front of American-based audiences, because, well, some of those words are considered big no-nos, such as the C word, which I definitely can't say on here. But it can be used as a term of familiarity between two people in my country. Which I know is a really weird thing to say. It looks like both teams are ready, so we should be getting into the match shortly. I'm hearing a wait. That's unfortunate timing. That is very unfortunate. Wait, did anyone actually respond? No. I don't know what's going to happen here, but we are getting into it, so let me switch on over to the game, shall I? And sometimes, ever so really sometimes, I realize I do need to slow down how quickly I talk. So I'll try and keep that in mind coming up to this next kind of band phase. Take my time, smell the roses, sing a little. No, you're not going to hear me sing. I have not had nearly enough alcohol for that. Nor will I. Anyway, we can see Junkrat banned up first. Once again, we're not letting Pandemonium play the more comfortable heroes. I expect I know what I will see by Pandemonium this time, but I will not say it. Just because I don't want to rat them out. And we can see Ghoulish Daniel has been banned out themselves. This is probably one of the best Gul'dan maps I would like to say. Just because he has excellent Zerquare, he has excellent fighting of Veer Point. I imagine we may see a Tassadar picked up in his place, actually, because that is also a pretty good one for this map. And imagine we also will see the Garrosh banned out. Just because it is also one of Garrosh's stronger maps, as he can flip someone over the ally side wall and make it much harder for you to live. And it's not really what you want. And I do have to say, good Stukov ban. Again, not something you're wanting to deal with on those objectives. A silence puddle under your feet is a hell of a thing to deal with. And because, well, actually no, team name his first pick. I do wonder why they banned that out. What do they plan if they're banning out? Are they just not as comfortable with Stukov, I wonder? But we can see Vala ban out the other side, and I don't know how I feel about that one. I think he would have been better off. Joanna gets through the ban phase, which, not ideal under a lot of situations. A lot of people don't like seeing Joanna picked up early on. But a lot of people don't like facing Joanna, I should say. If you have a team against Joanna, you're pretty happy, but not the end of the world. For the other team, you can still have some pretty good picks into it. You're just a little bit harder pressed for tanks. You can get Diablo off, you can get Garrosh off. We do see Leoric and Tychus coming out. Tychus will have to be a little bit careful to play around Joanna's blinds, but they can do still well. Still do well. We see Kalphus and Brightwing picked up. So, very similar heroes this time around. Kalphus, Kalphus, Brightwing both picked up for team name before. Tychus picked up before as well. Leo and Joanna are both the new ones this time around. What next is the question. We do see bans coming up. You know you don't need to do the Garrosh now. You can focus on something else. Artanis is a good one as any. You're not really wanting him to sack too much, and they can do very well with the amateur opponent on this map. It is one of the better maps for it. But so they are just going to be cutting that one out. Also, Joe was banned last time, just remembered. It was team name banning out Joanna. Final ban coming up in a few seconds now. Kira being banned out. Not as... Albeit I wasn't sure about last one, but last one was at least a free main map, so Kira made more sense. This map it would have been a little bit harder for her to pull her off. So now I'm wondering if we're going to see a Rexar or something along the lines of that, because that is considered one of the counters to Rexar Kira is. So we may see Livskutoria picking last here. We may get healer and tank. Diablo Rhaegar, yep, healer tank. And what are the last two picks of team name going to be? I'm very curious about this one. This one should be good either way. There we go. Right, what are we getting double life for Leo? Hogger and Tracer. Very much we're in a position where team name needs to win the objectives. Sure, Kalphus can do well at clearing. Speaking of which, I do not know what Red Dragons is going to have for clear. But Kalphus is alright for clearing, very good for your point control. Tracer, definitely good at picking up those stragglers who are escaping from Kalphus's living bombs. I don't know what Elf List plays. I thought they're an offlaner. Nazebo. Wait, I thought Pandemonium played Nazebo. Are we going to be swapping heroes around? I thought it was the other way around. I thought Pandemonium wasn't a Zero player. Interesting, I could have been wrong. Unless they're going to switch last second, which is also a possibility. But no, it appears we are going to be staying the same way. I've remembered things wrong. It should be interesting anyway. Nazebo we don't see too often. And Tracer even less. Let me swap it on over. And we're going to have a chat. Because neither team has particularly good Zerg clear. It looks like we are going to be getting down to a point where just do the objective and see who wins. Which may be the case. Nazebo and Kalphis both can do alright with Zerg clear. Same with Leo and Hogger. But when it gets to those much larger sizes, that can be pretty scary. It can be pretty dang scary. But I do like what both the teams are cooking, so let's get into the kitchen. Let's see what Braxis has to offer us. So, on the right-hand side of Red Dragons, I've realized I'm on the wrong screen. We do actually have Jacobia there on the... I pushed the wrong button. Jacobia is on the Leoric, otherwise than that. We see Dizzy on the Rhaegar, Luxutoria on the Nazebo, Butte Holiday jittering around on Diablo, similarly Pandemonium also jittering around on the Tychus. The other side we do see Leo Rice on the Hogger, and Double Life actually starting at top with the Tracer. Bottom we can see Patience with the Brightwing, Majesty, Joanna, and Duff McWhalen rounding things out with the Kalphis themselves. Let's see how things go on bottom lane. We will look at top in a bit because Leoric is going to be the one in trouble. But once they see the Tracer, they may know what they need to call. Leo playing very safe. Tracer has not revealed themselves yet. Tracer very patient. Yep, there's a Tracer. We do see Jacobia backs out. And we may see now a counter, a lot of pressure coming in. And actually, that's a very unfortunate spot for Duff McWhalen to be in. Does give a spell armor dropped on them, but does go down. Good kill. And this may now be a, if you are the team bottom, you start shoving. Oh, I honestly think you could push harder bottom with a Nazebo than they can with Tracer and Hogger. Are they setting up for camp? They're setting up for camp immediately. I don't mind it. Naz just needs to attack, so he is staying bottom. You can say Hogger is preparing themselves for the camp, which they do need to be very diligent about doing these camps themselves. As well, Hogger is known for doing them speedily as well. Joanna getting very aggressive, slowing things down. Butte Holiday seeing if they can just chase them out a little. And both Bruiser camps picked up really early on. We can see that is a good Bruiser camp take there. Double Life is going to be finishing their own one in a few moments. I thought it was about to reset, which would have been unfortunate for Tracer. Grenade checking the siege camp. They find out no one is on there, so they do have that knowledge. Nice Naz wall, nothing found from there. Meanwhile, Leoric knows they're going to have a lot to deal with in a few moments. Leo Rice getting drained. The good start coming out from Leoric. Meanwhile, Joanna stepping up alone. Does get a nice little shield bash off of that Condemn, but nothing there. Right, and now we do see Jacobia having to deal with a lot. Leo Rice, however, even lower. Jacobia doesn't quite hit anything with that. Doesn't hit the wave that pulse bomb. Very good discipline from them. We see Brightwing going down, and we're now going to get a little bit of counter pushing going on. Which I'm going to open the talents because we do see that it is globes on the Kalphis too from there. And we can see actually it's Toad and Nazebo at pre-sex themselves, but they've been focused a little bit more on the minion camp as well of the... I can't remember what this is called. Voodoo Ritual. I was about to call it... I can't even remember what the talent is at level... Whatever it is, never mind. 20, level 9. I can't remember it. I'm just like looking blankly at my screen going, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, other things to note, we do now have the Enver Rhythm Tychus to round things out. Hogger is going to be forced outwards. Pandemonium doing a little bit of damage to them, doing what they can. Leo Rice is forced out. Rhaegar checking the camp. We do see a stun on the wall. Butte Holiday trying to contest that objective. Majesty getting a little bit of blind action off. And Toad's being thrown out. Dizzy has double life on them. See now, it is actually the first 1v1 that Leo has gone top in a while. Double Life is now bottom and not pestering them the whole time. Butte Holiday, on the other hand, will be pestered by the little mosquito that is Double Life. They are now in danger. We do see them backing up a little bit. They can't really afford to give this. We do need to see Hogger and... Oh, no, there we go. It is flipped not after too long. Hogger does spin out. We can see the grenade coming from Pandemonium. Didn't quite find anything there. They aren't the extra grenade range. They are the movement speed on dash, but they did get the objective. Patience now will be getting their own half from there, and we do see now Beaut Holiday stepping up on objective top. I sure just heard a voice. I wasn't sure what it was. Okay, Majesty will be slowing things down. We do see that as Naz going down, unfortunately Dizzy and Beaut Holiday stepped away from in the zebra for too long, and Tracer did get a very good punish on them. And now we're into the point where, well, the objective is ticking up for team name, and Red Dragons are struggling a little bit, but it is still the early game. In saying that, though, this is the snowballing map. This is not just a game that you can go, it's just the early game, it's fine. It's one of those maps where you're concerned if the early game doesn't quite go in your favor. It is not the easiest one to come back from, as the Zerg wave is inherently very snowbally. Leo Rice is realizing now they're in a little bit of a pincer maneuver here. We see Pandemonium getting the minigun. Nice roll downwards from Leo. Only correct choice was rolling back into the team there, so well done. We see now Livskitoria is top as well. Jacoby are doing what they can. Nice grenade. Oh, the Petting Zoo is in the wrong spot. Livskitoria was polymorph, so they could not let it down. They do eventually put away the Petting Zoo, but not until after Leo Rice is able to escape. Speaking of which, level 7s are online now. And Beaut Holiday, unfortunately, has been left alone. And while Joanna is known for her offlane capabilities, Diablo is not. Diablo used to be able to do alright when he had, when the flip talent, the stun talent at level 7 gave cooldown reduction to both. Oh, nice push, but will they get to live? See a lot of damage coming out. It's a big circle, but it doesn't matter. Duff McWhalen not able to find the kill there. Beaut Holiday gets to live, and Pandemonium stepping up as well. Meanwhile, we do still have a 3v3 coming out top. Patience getting the phase shift onto Leo Rice. That's two people with the Petting Zoo this time. We see the Spiders throwing them on over top. That is the objective going on over to team name. They are slowly building that pressure. There's nothing that Red Dragons can do to step back in. And that looks like it'll be the first objective of the game. Going on over to the side of team name. Well, the larger Zerg, I should say, are going over to team name. Both teams get your own Zerg. Oh, Dizzy is in trouble. Got a little bit too aggressive. They do have Hogger going straight through from that pulse bomb and found its target as well. That is unfortunate for them. You know, we can see Pandemonium and Beaut Holiday left alone to deal with Zerg wave bottom. And as I said, the team is not particularly well made for dealing with this. Naz can do alright. Leo can do alright. Outside of that, it's a little bit harder for them. They do have good single target, but it's all the minions that surround it that are the issue. Livskitoria in trouble, does get pushed away. We see Majesty got pushed away by Beaut Holiday. At that point, it was a little bit too late. The Zerg wave itself finding the kill. I'm getting to a point where my beard is getting too long again. My moustache is just like absolutely getting annoying. It's sounding like it's going to be a night that I have to shave. Trim. I don't fully shave ever. It is not for me. Who is messaging me and why? Sorry, I pushed tab on accident. That is a whole question that I don't know how to answer. We do see Beaut Holiday's in trouble. Actually, no, Double Life was for one in trouble, but no one was able to find them. Nice little bit of poison there from Livskitoria. 10's coming through first. We do see it is the... I don't know, Pandemonium. Pandemonium gets to live! I thought they were screwed, and I do not know how to react to, is it true y'all parrots have parrots that take cars? What? That's a whole statement that I don't know how to answer. Meanwhile, top we can see Jacoby and Leo Rice still in the Eternal Conflict top of the off lane. And to talk about heroics real quick, we do have Pyroblast, as I did mention. We can also see things such as the Quantum Spike, I believe? No, Sticky Bomb Tracer, Blink Heal Brightwing, Falling Sword Joanna, and rounding things out, we have a Shockwave on Bahorga. On the other side, we do have Comedy Odin Tychus, which is probably going to be your main bit of wave clear when it comes to the Zerg. Lightning Breath Diablo, Ancestral Healing Rhaegar, Gargantuan Gazebo, okay. And we do have things rounded out by Jacobia with their Entomb, which I do like the Entomb pickup. I do always say Entomb is probably one of the better ones. Jacobia will be clearing this now. Meanwhile, the rest of the team will have rotated top to help deal with the push that is coming up from Team Name. As I say, I heard Soul Shield pop. Majesty stuck in the Petting Zoo once again. Push coming out, Beaut Holiday flipping them around. That is a falling sword to get them out of jail for free. Majesty almost dead, but unfortunately almost dead is not any experience gained for the side of Red Dragons. And there goes the Gargantuan going down now. Nice push on to Double Life. We see have a Lightning Breath going out, but that is a Diablo standing still, which is not always a good idea. A nice living bomb. Nice living bomb there from the Kael'thas. And I accidentally just hit my elbow on my desk, and I am almost in tears. It hurts, but it's okay. Well, that is not where you want to be if you're Pandemonium. Nice. Ancestral healing onto the Majesty now for one in trouble. Pandemonium does have a whole bomb coming their way. I hope to see the spell shield at level 13. That will very much help Pandemonium live most, because they have been the main target for most of it so far. And keep in mind, this is being dropped now. We're gonna have to see a longer objective phase for Red Dragons. Red Dragons is going to need to make sure they have Commandeer Odin back for the next actual Zerg push, as that is going to be the main way of dealing with things. Dealing with the Zerg, I should say, not just things. So, the four-man do comfortably have top on their favor. Meanwhile, Jacobia is having to back out. Nice dodge onto Leo Rice's bombs. But no, they are going to have a quick reset, clear the wave, come back in. Meanwhile, it looks like we're going to have a full 5-man fight coming out top as Hog is making the way. Holiday gets the stun, but doesn't get anything else. Leo Rice comes in, does hit Lois, a little bit of stun, does spin through the team, gets stopped in the petting zoo. Holiday is backing out. We see Pandemonium is dropping out. We do have a cleanse coming out from Dizzy. Nice stun on Leo Rice into the wall. That is Holiday getting a little bit too low. They get taken down in the end. And that is a Soul Stone reset. Meanwhile, Dizzy and Leoric are in trouble. Jacobia is out. Dizzy is out. Pandemonium is trying. Does dodge the stun. We can see it's an excellent entomb and a lot of damage into a small area. But unfortunately, no one was able to go down there. And Jacobia barely holding on. Not quite able to survive. Hogger does find them in the end. But we can see they do find them. They do get found by the Tychus. Big Witch Tychus takes a lot, down to 70 health there. But again, they're also going to be fine. Livskutoria does cheekily get the objective behind. Double Life does have to reset to make sure they aren't going to go down to poison. But the objective once again is slowly ticking up. Commandeer Odin is back at least, so they do have that Zerg wave clearance up. That is going to be Holiday actually sneaking the objective bottom. But we're going to have to now see Jacoby and Livskutoria stepping on top objective to make sure they keep this alive. And we're going to get a good game of Ringa Ringa Rosie. Both teams don't want to deal with a Zerg. I couldn't think of any rhyme with Nosy, I'm going to be honest. Rosie, with honest. It's like, I know it's Ringa Ringa Rosie. Nosy, a pocket full of hoses? But I couldn't think of anything that rhymed there in particular. But that will be the objective this time. That will be them going down. Livskutoria does get hit with the bunch of stuff. But we see Pandemonium goes down. We can see that Livskutoria goes down. That's your two main damage dealers down in a moment. We can see Diablo is falling as well. Dizzy is next one trouble. Leo Rice wanting them, does find them in the end. Jacobia is able to get out safely in their own time. So that is a unfortunate spot for the side of Red Dragons to be in. Team name doing excellent this series so far. I do wonder again if the 75 spell armor would have been better for Tychus, but I guess we'll have to see how long this game goes. Gate is starting to fall. Pandemonium Livskutoria getting into the position to make sure things are going to go smoothly coming on up. Majesty getting a nice little condemn, not condemn. I can't remember what's called. Oh, I think it is. Never mind. We just see how things are stepping back up once again. This tower is falling. Pandemonium very aggressive, better rest of the team, but Holiday does go in underneath. Patience comes out. Patience and Majesty stuck in the petting zoo. And there is a lovely entomb, but unfortunately not the damage to follow up on it. We can see that it is Pandemonium going down. Rest of the team is going to have to start backpedaling. Jar of Spiders does hit double life. We can see a nice shockwave. Holiday's in trouble. We can see some Toads build has been completed, but quest done. We can see Holiday is going down now. That is another blind coming out. Dizzy doesn't quite make it into the objective, into the core. They die just at the wall to the side. Good finish by Leo Rice there. Livskutoria holding on for their dear life. Double life. Swing of Witch getting right on top of him. Jacobia realizes we're going to need to hit the Zerg behind it. Pandemonium is back now. But this looks like it's going to be a little bit too much for the side of Red Dragons to handle, as the core is starting to fall quickly now. The team goes, yep, this is our end call. And that will be the game and the series going over to the side of team name. GG, well played, both teams. Good stuff. Well played, well played. So, let me swap on over to the game summary screen, and we're going to have a chat about how that went. because I realize I'm just not quite there yet. So I'm just going to do this. Anyway, in terms of hero damage, excellent done by Hogger, 47k. Kalefish just by Vim, 35k, and Vendor Zero not too far behind that with 44k themselves. Also, I'm going to put myself into a lobby, and hopefully we'll see if someone is willing to join us. I'm in the wrong lobby. Let's put myself here. Div B. At team name. Any interviewers? Question mark. Interviewees? Nope, yeah, Majesty just joining me now. I haven't really talked about anything, but Majesty, how are you doing today? Alive is always my answer, but honestly, I'm doing all right. Unfortunately, as you've stated, I have entered my, as you asked for the stream, doing your full, Kiwi accent. I lost that partway through actually talking myself, because I hype myself up, and then I talk a lot more like this. However, I want to say thank you for follows, Leo and Barbara, but tell us, how were you feeling about that series at the end of it all? Were you guys kind of nervous about it coming into it, or what was this, what was on the line here, this game?
Because we have a couple players that are pretty inexperienced, and we were coming in to use our derivative for the first time, so felt a little nervous, but felt like we ended up playing well and everything jived.
Yeah, things definitely did jive well. So map number 1 was Garden of Terror. That went pretty well for you guys. How was it? Kind of generally, you guys were running the samurai there, or did they grab the heroes did they manage to bounce the heroes you're wanting most of the time?
They had solid bands. Yeah, both games. The players I know on that team, I don't know them all. The players I do know, I do know put a large preference on scouting, a large priority on it. So knowing that, they had good bands, but I wouldn't say they were unexpected.
Yeah. I have said on many occasions, I do like when Samuro appears. Samuro is one of the heroes I do like just turning my brain off and running at buildings. Which, I do respect a good Samuro player, so I do have to say big props to team name. To your offline player there, who I believe was... Oh god, here's my...
Hadu.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think I see them this second get map, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, he only played the first one.
Fair enough. But yeah, so things did very much go your way in that first map. Was there any kind of moments where, I believe they had one very good team fight where they managed to take out 3 or 4 of you at once? Or was that kind of like, let's actually pull it together, or what do we need to do moving forward from here?
I would say from somewhere after 10, like 11, 12, 13 range, to about level 16, 17, we felt like we were losing a lot of those fights. They were doing their combo extremely well, and we were struggling to adapt to it and figuring out how to play around it correctly. And then it started to click a little bit post 16, and then I'd say at 20, Leo was able to talent into hungry stitches, and we purposely went that to try to interrupt as many of their combo pieces, because it didn't feel like gorging any one specific person would kind of interrupt their combo. Like, they had enough different combo pieces that they could kind of pick and choose how they want to run it. So we needed to be able to eat and remove more people from the fight to really counterplay it.
I was curious about that, because it's definitely not the most picked Stitches talent by any means you typically see other talents here. And I did question it on stream, but I'm very happy I got my answer as to why that was picked. So, then we moved on to Braxis. How comfortable are you guys with that Braxis map?
Not very. I don't think we've scrimmed on that map yet, and that's the second time a team's taken it to us, or taken us to it. I would say that first time that we were taken to it last week for the first time, and I would say that was a bit of a learning curve, figuring out how we wanted to approach the map, which heroes we wanted on that map. And so coming into this week, a little bit more mentally prepared for how we were going to approach the map, which heroes we wanted, which ones we didn't, who was going to take which role for our damage. Who's gonna get camps, kind of figuring out all of that stuff the hard way, by getting smacked around a little bit last week.
Yeah. So were you just kind of throwing things together by putting the Tracer top for a lot of the game, or was it you saw the early Leoric and Leoro doesn't do well when there's a lot of pressure on them?
No, that is actually a specifically stolen strategy for how to play Tracer on Braxis Holdout. Mockery, as everyone knows, was a huge Tracer player, and I never avidly watched any one streamer, but I would kind of flip through a lot of them, and there was one that I just happened to open once, and he was on Braxis as Tracer, and he was talking about why he sits top lane as Tracer until about level 4. Because Tracer doesn't do a whole lot till she has her first bomb. So instead of sitting in the 4-man where there's a lot of pressure, you can't really move around, you just go sit top lane for that first 4 levels, and you can apply a lot of pressure, maybe pull someone away from the bot lane. And then when the first objective's there, and you're needed for the fight, you can kind of rotate in at that point, maybe grab the camp real quick before you go, So that is actually something specifically taken from Mockery, from what he said on stream before.
I mean, it definitely worked out for you guys, because it didn't seem like Red Dragons knew exactly how to deal with it. I thought they were going to say bot and actually put a lot of counter pressure on, because they did notice, but no, they actually rotated up instead. Were you kind of happy that was the case, or?
I think we were prepared either way. I think in the end, it kind of we liked it a little bit more because it ended up working out, having the Brightwing be able to Z back and forth to take even or numerical advantages. But then we ended up getting like a wave clear advantage bot lane, which meant we were getting constant pressure, and that was where our first wave came in. And it really feels like getting that extra siege in early kind of helped us get ahead and then just roll with the momentum a little bit more.
Yeah, and we did see that momentum did eventually hit your favor, because I did note that neither team had particularly good Zerg outside maybe Hogger and Leo, but they kind of got hit a little bit hard when there was that Zerg coming through. So was it kind of also working to your favor that both teams were lighter on the Zerg and you knew you just had to win the objective no matter what?
I mean, we had Joe, which I don't know if you read the Blizzard bug channel in the NGS Discord, but there is an issue with Joe on that map. But being aware of it, could play around it, but didn't come up that game. Kalefoss, we took over a different. Duff was floating some different ideas of what he might want to play, and we ended up taking the Kalefoss for the Zerg clear if we need it. Joe helps with the Zerg clear, had the Hogger, so I feel like we had enough if we really lost it, but I think they had like 70% on that first one, or 60%. And we ended up having Vol the Hogger Brightwing already top to kind of handle it, so turned out his wave clear 50. Wasn't needed for it as much.
I am. But right, that's really all my questions there. I'm horrible at the interview question type thing. That is not what I'm here for, but
those were good.
I'll leave the floor open to you. Is there anything you want to say? Any thanks? It is your time to talk.
Yeah, shout out to Derivative, a late addition to our team. This was their first time getting to play with us because we're on different coasts, and so work schedules and stuff just hasn't worked out. So that was nice to be able to get them in there. Shout out to the fans who were watching. Shout out to the Line Bus for casting, and GS for putting this all together.
I nod my head like people can see it, but
just get a face cam.
No, I don't like being on cam, but no. Thank you so much for joining me, Majesty. I hope you have good rest of your night with your team.
Thank you.
Right, that will be it for me for now. I will be back in half an hour because I was kind of hoping this would be a free map series, but it wasn't. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be raiding the Crushinator, as they are still going by the looks of things. So we'll be throwing it over to them. I will be back in about half an hour with a Division B West match, actually, where it will be Spooky Ghost facing off against Team Rainbow Strike Go. So that has been it for me for a moment. I hope everyone has a good day. Well played, both teams. Red Dragons, unfortunately, didn't quite make it through this time, as I got hiccups now, and team name did run away with it in the end. So I've been your host, V Line Bus, and to everyone, I hope you have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zones are very weird, and I'm never the right one to keep up with things, but have a good one, everyone. Take care of yourselves.